I'm with Mark Miller of Project Frog. You're the architect for the project as well as the CEO of the company?
I'm the architect CEO of Project Frog. Yes.
And I've talked about the project before, and I think it's great, but I wanted to ask you a specific question that's important to me. So many children today are in horrible classrooms where they're stuck with real air quality problems, and we talk about this all the time on Tree Hugger, about how we're poisoning another generation of kids. What do you do about that issue in this classroom?
We do lots of things about that issue. Let me focus on two major elements. One, we move just the amount of ventilation, the amount of the air quality, the amount of fresh air that moves through this classroom is anywhere between 4 and 5 times the code, the building code. So there's a whole integrated system of how air and heat works here. But in general, the amount of what we've done is the way we use passive systems and radiant floors, both for cooling and heating.
Right.
It allows us to have much more operable windows and to move much greater level of fresh air in a very energy efficient way. So that's one of the main categories.
Right.
So high volumes of fresh air moving through the building comparatively. The second thing we do is the whole, from everything, every material selection we do, in terms of whether we create it or it's a product or material that we integrate, we're constantly rigorous on the whole VOC issue. So this is either a no, it's almost a substantially no, or very, very low VOC products are included in this, even this installation at all, let alone any school application.
Now, another question that I have is that so many people, when they talk about green, particularly in the United States, just think about energy. All they care about is energy. And yet this has an extraordinary amount of wonderful glazing, which sort of contradicts that a bit.
Yes and no. It all depends. What we have a saying, we work hard to make it look easy. And we translate that to the whole attitude of glass. Glass, we think, is a very good thing. When you talk, going back to the health issue, for example, just the whole mental health and brain processing, that has to do with both view as well as abundant amounts of natural light, the way the brain functions, and the way we respond to light in a very well, healthy way. So light's a big deal to us. Also, the reason you see so much glass, it's actually all strategically placed on where the climate is. And so that working hard is all about the analysis of where a building is going to be, what's going on in its microclimate, as well as the macro solar orientation opportunities to basically collect light, collect energy, and to distribute it. So basically what we do here is that this building, and in Frog in general, especially on the Frog Zero platform, is that with an hour of sunlight and an hour of sunrise, so an hour of dawn and an hour of sunset, that you never have to turn the lights on.
Wow.
So the offset, so we only use 25% of the energy that are versus Title 24 in California, a very good energy code state.
Right.
We use 75% less energy, only 25% of the total amount of energy, and that's even with all this glass.
Well, I think it's wonderful that with so many things to worry about, you've paid so much attention to light and air.
Thank you.